In this section of the presentation, we're going to go over how we can approach large-scale Agile at institutional level. Scaling Scrum or scaling Agile process is defined by how the functionality from each set of Scrum teams must deliver and interoperate. This involves scalability of Scrum, Agile roles in large projects, as well as levels of project management. Earlier, we discussed the functionality and characteristics of each Scrum team as depicted down at the bottom, A through F. And this individual team can cross-functionally work with another team. And that process is all managed by Scrum of Scrum. And Scrum of Scrum and interaction between them can be managed by Scrum of Scrums. So if we look at this from more vision or operation perspective, we can see that we have Scrum teams operating at the team level and Scrum of Scrum operating at the program level. And finally, we have Scrum of Scrum level that's operating at the portfolio level. And each level needs to be aligned with the clear vision. As you have so many different people collaborating and working to accomplish different sprint goals and align that with the institutional vision, it is important that there's no misunderstanding and their role can be clarified. It is important that the roles are defined clearly to avoid any misunderstanding. And RACI model allows us to achieve that. In RACI model, R stands for responsible, which describes a person who performs an activity or does the work. A stands for accountable, which describes a person who is ultimately accountable for the work or project or process. C stands for consulted, which describes a person that needs the feedback and contribute to the activity. And finally, I stands for informed, which describes a person that needs to know of the decision or action. As we have Scrum teams operating at different levels, it is important that we align together to achieve the common vision. Here is some of the tips of how we can do that and how we use the group meeting effectively. In the group meeting, you can design the meeting to ensure that the teams are in sync and effectively communicate across all teams. One member from each represents his or her team in the meeting. There's no set frequency of the meetings. Leaders operating at the portfolio levels are responsible for resource allocation and institutional alignment, working towards common vision. And some of the questions that you can discuss during the meeting include, what has your team been working on since the last meeting? What is your team going to do till the next meeting? What impediment is your team facing? Has your team made any decision that could impact other teams? So as a Scrum team works on project 1 and 2, as seen in this picture on the left side, if you're Scrum of Scrum, your goal is not just to remove any impediment or barriers. You need to make sure that these projects with different sprint goals are aligned to bigger goals. So that process can be seen on the right side. You may have multiple objectives, so 1 through 5 in this case, that can be conducted by different Scrum teams using sprint goals. And that process needs to be aligned to bigger goals at the program level. And then again, that needs to be further aligned at the higher or larger scale level with the institutional value and mission. In summary, large projects are often implemented as part of a program or portfolio. Large projects may have multiple Scrum teams working in parallel, making it necessary to synchronize, facilitate, and enhance communication. Scrum of Scrum is the process ensuring the synchronization as well as communication. According to Rockefeller, the secret of success is to do the common things uncommonly well. This resonates very well with the slides that we've been going through, just because we have unique individuals working in unique teams, but together we're trying to accomplish a common vision and common goal.